everyone, let us discuss about IS curve and the importance of the policy in order to increase Y in our economy. Right, so the question in front of you is from the Indian Economic Service 2022, and the question asked is about which policy will be effective if the IS curve is vertical. So here IS curve is vertical, then whether it is fiscal or the monetary policy that should be effective in order to help the economy. So let us first try to understand a basic IS and LM model and try to understand the equilibrium condition. So for all of you, here is the graph, that is this is Y, and here we have rate of interest. Now this is our normal IS curve, which is downward sloping, and our LM curve is upward sloping. Now what is IS curve? IS curve shows the commodity market equilibrium, right? So every point on the IS curve shows that the demand for goods and services is exactly equals to the supply for goods and services, that is the commodity market, is in equilibrium. And similarly, LM curve is the money market equilibrium, which says that any point on the LM curve shows that the demand for money is exactly equals to the supply for money. So bringing LM and IS curve together means both the market are in equilibrium together, that is at point say E. So point E shows the point where both the money market as well as the commodity market is in equilibrium at what rate of interest, that is the equilibrium rate of interest, say R star and Y star. Okay, now let us quickly try to understand the equation of IS curve. What is our equation of IS curve? Y is equals to C plus I plus G, or if I want to write down in detail, that is C is function of Y, I is function of rate of interest, and G is given exogenously. So this is the equation of IS curve. So that means I can increase Y by changing taxes and government expenditure, right? Because G and T are the parameters. So that means if I increase G or reduce T, so the IS curve will shift to the right, and the income in the economy will increase, right? But our rate of interest will also increase in order to maintain the equilibrium in both the market, right? What is our LM curve? LM curve equation of LM curve is money demand is equals to money supply. Now demand for money depends on income and rate of interest, and supply for money is given, that is fixed by our central bank. So that means any change in Y, and that means any change in the fixed parameter, that is money supply. If money supply changes, then LM curve will shift. That means in the economy, if money supply increases, LM curve will shift to the right, and if the money supply decreases, then the LM curve will shift to the left. Now the question here asked is, what about the shape of IS curve is vertical? So let us try to draw the diagram and find out our initial equilibrium. So with a vertical IS curve, so this is our IS curve, vertical, and this is our LM curve. Now, so according to this, initially the equilibrium is at point E, such that the equilibrium income is at Y star and the equilibrium rate of interest is at R star. Now, in order to bring a positive impact, that is increase the productivity in the income, Y must increase. Now, Y will increase when? That is the question. We have two policies, monetary policy and fiscal policy. So what are these policies? Monetary policy means related to money supply. Money supply increase or decrease. So let us say first I increase the money supply, because we have just studied, I've told you above, that as money supply increases, LM curve shifts to the right. That is, if there is more money supply, people will tend to buy more, right? And productivity will increase more because people will have money, and accordingly the rate of interest will change to maintain the equilibrium. So just by increasing the money supply, I'm going to shift my LM curve to the right side. So what is happening? rate of interest is falling, but is there any change in the national income? Is there any change in productivity? Is there any growth? No. So if I want to make an effective policy change, that means money supply is not going to help, because y is fixed here, the equilibrium y is same. So in order to increase the y, the IS curve needs to be shifted, and IS curve shifts only when there is fiscal policy change. That is, if G is increased or T is decreased. So the fiscal policy, by increasing G or reducing T, IS curve will shift to the right. Say IS1. So from point F, now we are at point F, from E to F. Okay, as a result, now the equilibrium income is Y star 1 and the rate of interest is R star 1. So definitely there is some progress in the income, and that means it is effective. So that means if the IS curve is effective, it is the fiscal policy that is going to matter and not the monetary policy. So in order to improve the economy, if monetary policy is taken, then it is ineffective when the IS curve is vertical. But if the government takes the decision that is fiscal policy parameters changes, then definitely it is going to be effective. That's all.